Have you ever found yourself wide awake in the middle of the night between 3 and 5 a.m., just staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep won't come back? For many women, stepping into midlife, this isn't just some random irritation. It's your body sending you signals, clues about your health, your emotions, and even what lies ahead. Here's the surprising part. Most people don't realize that waking up during these hours can actually be a sign that something important is happening inside. That's why I want to share 5 powerful strategies with you. Not only will they help you understand why this happens, but they'll also show you how to turn those restless hours into moments of peace and clarity. Stick with me until the end, because tip number 4 is one most people overlook, and it could be the missing key to better sleep and a healthier, more energized you. These aren't vague ideas. They're backed by science and designed to restore your sleep, recharge your energy, and even lift your emotional well-being. If you've been battling those frustrating wake-ups night after night, this is exactly what you need. I'll walk you through simple yet effective steps to calm your body, clear your mind, and maybe even find fresh inspiration in those quiet early hours. Instead of suffering through sleepless nights, let's take charge together and transform your sleep for good. So settle in, get comfortable, and let me guide you through these life-changing steps that could forever change the way you rest. Trust me, the solution you've been searching for is closer than you think. And before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your support means the world to me. If this video resonates with you, give it a like and share it with someone who could use these insights too. I'd also love to hear from you. If you enjoy this kind of content, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can improve and create even better videos for you. Now let's begin. And here's the first step. Don't force yourself back to sleep. There's a better, gentler way. Waking up in the middle of the night, especially between 3 and 5 a.m., is far more common than most people realize. And here's the truth. It doesn't mean the world is falling apart. But there's a catch. The moment you start to panic, spiraling into frustration about not being able to sleep, you're actually making the problem worse. It's like tossing gasoline on a fire that never needed to burn in the first place. Think about it. Forcing yourself to sleep is about as effective as trying to herd butterflies in a windstorm. It's frustrating, exhausting, and absolutely pointless. When you clench your jaw, squeeze your eyes shut, and mentally beg your body to drift back into dreams, you're not soothing yourself. You're igniting a storm. Stress hormones flood your system, and with them comes cortisol, the body's internal alarm clock. Cortisol has one mission: to keep you alert. And once it kicks in, it's like a nagging little voice whispering, "Forget about sleep. You're awake now." Within minutes, your nervous system shifts into overdrive. Your heart pounds harder, your breathing gets shallow, and instead of drifting back into slumber, you're even more wired than when your eyes first popped open. The cruel irony is this: the harder you fight sleep, the further away it runs. So here's the shift: stop wrestling with the night. Instead of turning it into a battle, why not see it as an invitation? This wake-up doesn't have to be torture. It can actually become a pocket of peace, maybe even a spark of productivity. First things first, don't just lie there feeling defeated. I know it's tempting to sink into the pillow staring at the ceiling with hopeless eyes. But do something different. Gently sit up or shift your posture. No need to leap into full daytime mode, just make a small adjustment. That subtle movement tells your brain, "I'm not stuck. I'm simply changing gears." Then exhale softly through your mouth for 6. Do it again and again. Simple, right? But here's why it works. This isn't just relaxation fluff, it's biology. That steady rhythm activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural brake pedal. With each breath, your shoulders relax, your chest loosens, and that racing heart finally begins to slow down. It feels almost magical, but it's just your body doing what it's designed to do when you give it the chance. Then get curious. Ask yourself, why am I awake? Maybe your pillow has flattened into a tired pancake after years of use. Maybe the blanket is wound around your legs like a rope, trapping you in discomfort. Or perhaps the room itself is off balance, too hot, too cold, or too stuffy. Small details often hold the key to why your body refuses to settle. Has someone ever cracked open a window without you knowing, leaving you shivering in the middle of March? Tiny disruptions like that can creep into your night and steal away your rest before you even realize what's happening. But here's the good news: you're not powerless. Take a moment to reset your space. Get up, fluff your pillow back to life, untangle those stubborn sheets, or adjust the thermostat. Science shows the ideal sleep zone is around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body rests best in that sweet spot. Even something as simple as sipping a small glass of water can reset your system. You'd be surprised how often dehydration sneaks in and wakes us up quietly, disrupting the body's rhythm. The takeaway here is simple. Don't stay trapped in frustration. Do something even if it feels small. These little tweaks, fixing the environment, calming your mind, easing your body, may not seem like much in the moment, but they can be the difference between tossing all night and finally reclaiming peace. A restful night isn't about forcing sleep. It's about breaking the cycle of stress and letting your body return to its natural balance. Now let's talk about step 2, hydration done wisely. Most of us think of drinking water as just a routine chore, something we barely notice. But hydration is so much more than that. It's an act of quiet care for yourself. Every sip you take is like offering your body balance, nourishment, and the subtle support it craves to keep functioning at its best. Picture this: you wake up in the darkness at 3, 4, 7 a.m., uneasy. But you can't quite figure out why. Your mouth feels parched like you've been chewing cotton all night. Maybe your legs twitch, restlessly refusing to settle. Or you're lying there strangely overheated, even though the room feels cool and comfortable. It's confusing, even unsettling. The hidden culprit, dehydration. It creeps up without warning, slowly draining your system as you sleep. By the time you wake, your body is practically sending up a flare. That dry mouth, those restless legs, that odd wave of heat, it's your body begging for water, the life-giving fuel it lost through the night. That's why smart hydration matters. It's easy to overlook when you're groggy and uncomfortable, but if you respond to your body's call the right way, you can restore calm and drift back into deeper rest. And if you're still here with me, still watching and learning, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a 1-inch in the comments below. It lets me know you're right here on this journey with me. Waking in the middle of the night isn't as simple as just chugging down a glass of water. In fact, if you hydrate the wrong way, you could actually make things worse, fully waking yourself up instead of drifting back into rest. True nighttime hydration is about being intentional: what you drink, how you drink it, and even the temperature of the water. When you get it right, your body rewards you by easing back into calm, restorative sleep. Here's where so many people slip up. The instinct, especially if you're feeling hot or restless, is to reach for a glass of ice-cold water straight from the fridge. I understand the temptation. Cold feels refreshing in the moment. But here's the problem: that blast of cold shocks your system. Instead of coaxing your body back towards sleep, you've essentially shaken it awake. Your muscles tighten, your brain sharpens, and suddenly you're more alert than when you first opened your eyes. Think of it like trying to soothe a child who's startled from a nightmare. You wouldn't shake them harder to calm them down. Yet that's exactly what ice water does to your nervous system. It disrupts your body's natural rhythm, jolting you further from the peaceful state you were craving. What works far better is water that matches your body's natural stateroom temperature, or even slightly warm. When you sip this kind of water, it feels soothing, like a gentle hug from the inside. It's soft, familiar, and doesn't send any alarms to your nervous system. Instead, your body accepts it willingly, as if to say, "Yes, this is what I've been needing." That simple choice can help relax you instead of shocking you. The best part: you don't need to stumble to the kitchen in the middle of the night to make it complicated. Just keep a small glass or bottle of room temperature water at your bedside. That way, when you wake, hydration is effortless, no fuss, no disruptions. But here's an often missed truth: water alone isn't always enough. If you've been especially restless at night, your body may not just be losing water, it could also be depleting essential minerals. While you sleep, you're slowly shedding electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These aren't just minor details, they're the conductors of your body's orchestra. When they're in balance, your muscles stay relaxed, your nerves stay calm, and your entire system runs in harmony. But when those levels dip, restlessness sneaks in and deep sleep becomes harder to find. It's 4:12 a.m. when your eyes suddenly snap open. But this isn't the usual grogginess of a half-awake rollover, and it's not the sharp beep of an alarm clock dragging you from sleep. No, this feels different, heavier, almost as if your own body has betrayed you by pulling you out of rest when you need it most. You lie there in the darkness, but instead of peace, the quiet feels suffocating. There's a weight on your chest, not painful but unsettling, a restless hum vibrating through your body, an ache you can't quite name. Not physical exactly, but something deeper, like a tug on the strings of your heart. Your mind stirs before you're even ready. Maybe it's replaying a tense conversation from yesterday, a moment with your spouse, a conflict at work. Or maybe your thoughts are already racing ahead, dreading something looming on the horizon. Anxiety, fear, or a quiet sadness slips in to fill the silence. Sound familiar? That moment when your mind refuses to rest, when emotions surge in the stillness of night, that's not just random insomnia. It's something deeper, a signal many people never consider. That unsettled wake-up call could actually be your emotions acting as your alarm clock. A whisper from within insisting you pay attention to something unresolved. Traditional Chinese medicine offers an interesting perspective on this. In TCM, emotions are closely linked with the health of specific organs. The lungs, for example, are tied to grief, sadness, and stress. So when you find yourself awake in those pre-dawn hours feeling heavy-hearted or uneasy, it may not be a coincidence. It could be your body surfacing emotions you've been too busy to acknowledge during the day. It's like an inner voice saying, "Stop, listen, there's something here you haven't faced." In the stillness of the night, when the world is silent, your body seizes the chance to push these feelings to the front of your awareness. Maybe it's grief you've carried for months or even years that was never fully released. Perhaps it's the weight of unspoken stress, the work deadline, the family tension, the endless responsibilities you keep shoving aside because there's no time to deal with them. Or maybe it's something as small but powerful as the apology you never gave, the message you never sent, the argument left unresolved. And until you acknowledge it, your body will keep trying to get your attention in subtle, inconvenient ways, like waking you at 4 in the morning when there are no distractions left and your heart has no choice but to speak. Your body knows when something is hiding just beneath the surface, even if your mind is doing everything it can to bury it. And it's in those hours before dawn, when the world is silent and all the noise of the day has faded, that these hidden feelings rise up and refuse to stay in the shadows. That's when your body insists on confronting them, dragging them into your awareness, whether you're ready or not. Modern science backs this up, even if it doesn't use the same language as ancient wisdom. Research shows that emotional overload and chronic stress wreak havoc on your sleep cycle. It's not simply that you can't drift off. It's that your body shifts into high alert even in the very hours it should be resting. And guess what? The time this stress most often peaks is those early morning hours when your brain is busy sorting through the unresolved baggage of the day. That's why your problems feel so much heavier at 3 or 4 a.m. Have you noticed that something small during the day suddenly feels enormous in the middle of the night? What's happening is your mind is amplifying the thoughts you've shoved aside, turning them up in volume until they're impossible to ignore. The deadlines, the arguments, the worries you pushed into the background now sit front and center, pressing against your chest until you can't deny them anymore. So what do you do when you find yourself awake, staring into the dark, carrying what feels like the weight of the world? The worst thing you can do is lie there and let those feelings multiply, feeding your fears until they grow even bigger. Don't let silence become a breeding ground for what-ifs and why-me's. Instead, try this sit-up slowly. 25 to the plan, but breathing for that. In the sit-up slowly, Goodman says, no need to shock yourself fully awake, just adjust. Prop a pillow behind your back and give yourself permission to breathe. If you're still here with me watching and learning, drop a 2 inches the comments so I know you're journeying alongside me. Now here's where it gets powerful. Ask yourself gently, what's on my mind right now? What's weighing on me that won't let me rest? You don't need the answers immediately. This isn't about fixing everything in one night. It's about acknowledging that something is stirring within you. That simple act of recognition breaks the destructive cycle of ignoring what your heart and mind are begging you to see. If you're comfortable, reach for a pen and a piece of paper. Write down whatever comes up. Don't censor it. Don't try to make it neat or logical. Just let the words spill out, even if they're messy, fragmented, or confusing. What matters is not how it looks. It's that you're giving form to the emotions that have been haunting you in silence. Maybe it's something as simple as I'm upset with Jen, or I miss how things used to be. Or maybe it's more abstract, like, why do I feel so alone? Whatever surfaces, write it down. The goal isn't to solve the problem right there in the middle of the night. It's to take the storm swirling in your head and give it shape on paper. When you write your emotions down, they stop growing in the shadows. They're no longer expanding inside of you, pressing harder and harder for your attention. Instead, you've given them a name, a form, and with that, you begin to reclaim your sense of control. Not over the problem itself that will come later, but over how you respond to it in this moment. And that's the beginning of relief. You don't need perfect answers or neat resolutions at 2 or 4 a.m. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is simply allow your feelings to exist outside of your mind. That act of recognition of compassion toward yourself becomes more powerful than any quick fix. It's a reminder that you're allowed to feel, to process, and to heal, even when the timing is inconvenient, especially when the quiet of the night finally forces you to face what you've been pushing away. So the next time you wake restless, don't run from that unsettled feeling. Lean into it. Use it as a guide. It might be the very thing leading you back toward clarity and peace. Step 4. Move gently, reset your body. It's 4:23 a.m. Again. You roll over, eyes wide open, staring at the clock's cold glow. You pull the blankets tighter, but instead of comfort, they twist around you, nodding like the very thoughts tangled in your head. Every toss, every turn only fuels the frustration. Why won't sleep come? Why does it feel like your body is fighting the very thing it craves most? You've been here before, stuck in the spiral time, dragging on the ticking clock, mocking you with every second. The harder you try to lie still, the more your body rebels. Your neck feels stiff, your legs twitch as if they refuse to obey. Your mind loops endlessly with frustration. Why can't I just rest? Here's the truth. Lying there, forcing yourself to stay still only makes it worse. You sink deeper into the pit of restlessness. But here's a small secret most people overlook: you don't have to stay trapped in that cycle. What your body really needs in that moment is a gentle reset, not a workout, not a burst of energy, just a soft signal, a reminder that it's safe to relax again. What your body really needs in those restless early hours isn't force, but a gentle nudge, a soft release, a way to let go of the tension it's been clinging to so you can slide back into calm. And the beautiful part, the process is so simple, it almost feels like cheating. But trust me, it works. First, let go of the idea that you have to lie frozen in stillness. Forcing yourself to stay perfectly still when your body is buzzing with nervous energy is like trying to hold water in your hands. It just slips away. Instead, allow yourself a tiny shift. Sit up slowly, no sudden moves. Prop your back against the headboard or let your legs dangle over the edge of the bed. The goal here isn't exercise, it's permission. Permission to move, to acknowledge that stillness isn't always the answer when your body is restless. Start with your neck. After hours of awkward sleep positions, chances are it feels stiff and locked. Drop your chin gently toward your chest, noticing the stretch ripple down your spine. Then tilt your head slowly to the right, letting your ear drift toward your shoulder. Breathe deeply. Inhale slowly, then exhale as you roll to the left. Repeat this a few times. With each breath, you'll feel the tightness melting away, the coil of tension finally loosening its grip. It's your body's way of whispering, "Thank you for listening." Now turn to your shoulders, those silent pack mules of the body. Most of us carry the weight of our stress there, hunched up tight near our ears. So with a deep inhale, lift your shoulders high, as if you could touch the ceiling, then exhale and release, letting them drop with gravity's help. Do this 3 or 4 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, let go. Each release sends a message to your body. You don't need to hold on so tightly anymore. And if you hear little cracks or pops, don't worry. That's simply your body releasing the pressure it's been bottling up. Finally, help your circulation wake up gently. Slide to the edge of the bed if you're not already there. Hinge forward at the hips, letting your hands drift toward your knees or even the floor. No need to force it, this isn't yoga class. Just let your torso hang softly like your spine is sighing with relief. Stay there for a few breaths, giving your muscles a chance to relax and your blood a chance to flow again after lying still for so long. While you're in this fold, focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, feel your ribs expand like wings opening. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, letting your body soften with each breath. With every inhale and exhale, you're inviting calm back in, reminding your nervous system that it's safe to rest. Every small movement you make at this hour is sending a message to your nervous system. It's okay. We're safe now. It's like giving your body permission to finally let go of the stress it's been gripping all day. Now try shaking out that restless energy, Nothing dramatic, just lift one leg at a time and give it a light jiggle, like you're shaking water off your foot after stepping out of a pool. It may feel a little silly, but trust me, it works. Your legs have been storing that twitchy, jittery energy, and by releasing it, you're signaling to your body that it's time to relax. A few seconds per leg is all it takes for the tension to melt from your calves and thighs. If you've ever noticed your legs bouncing or your toes tapping in bed, this is the perfect way to calm them down. And while we're on the subject of your limbs, check your hands and feet. If they feel cold, that's another clue that your circulation needs a little help. Cold extremities can actually keep your whole body from entering deep rest. The fix is simple. Rub your hands together quickly, as if you're trying to spark a fire. It's quick, it's easy, and it makes a bigger difference than you might think. In fact, science backs this up. Research shows that warm hands and feet help your body fall asleep faster. Why? Because right before sleep, your core temperature naturally drops. When your hands and feet are warm, that process happens more smoothly. Warm extremities are like a signal to your brain, we're ready. Let's rest. These tiny, gentle resets may seem small, but together, they're powerful. They remind your body that it deserves to soften, to unwind, to release what it's been carrying. Give yourself this 1-minute reset, and you'll feel your system thank you as it drifts back toward peace. Step 5, calm your brain with sound. So there you are. It's 3:58 a.m. The room is quiet, but your mind is sprinting like it's signed up for a marathon you never wanted to run. Thoughts ricochet like ping-pong balls inside your skull. Did I lock the door? What's that big meeting tomorrow? Why did I say that ridiculous thing back in 2019? You tell yourself to relax, but the harder you push, the louder the thoughts become. You're wide awake, caught in a loop of overthinking, wishing desperately for silence while sleep feels like some distant dream you can't reach. Sound familiar? I know it does, because I've been there too. And if you're still with me now, still watching and learning, drop a 3 inches the comments below so I know you're right here on this journey. When your brain spins out like this, trying to will it into silence is like trying to tame a tornado with a paper fan. It doesn't work. It only frustrates you more. But here's the good news, there's a trick. A gentle, proven remedy that requires no effort, no force, and no willpower at all. You don't need to wrestle with your thoughts anymore. The secret isn't force, it's sound. The right sound can act like a gentle hand on your shoulder, guiding your racing mind back toward calm and eventually back into sleep. Now, I know how tempting it is to grab your phone when you can't sleep. Just a quick scroll, right? But here's the problem. That quick fix is a trap. The dopamine hit from scrolling doesn't soothe your brain. It jolts it into overdrive, making your thoughts run even faster. Before you know it, you're further from rest than when you started. So let's put the phone aside and instead use what I like to call sonic shortcuts. The first one, pink noise. You've probably heard of white noise before. It's like the harsh static of a TV left on the wrong channel. White noise can be useful, but let's be honest, it can also feel a little grating. Pink noise, though, is its gentler, sleep-loving cousin. Imagine the steady rhythm of rain on a window, the soft rustling of leaves in the night breeze, or the soothing rise and fall of ocean waves. There's something timeless and comforting about those. Sounds like nature, whispering you back to rest. Here's why it works. Pink noise smooths out the sharper edges of sound, creating a warmer, more balanced cocoon for your brain. Research backs this up. A 2017 Northwestern University study found that pink noise not only deepens sleep, but also boosts memory the next day. Think about that. Not only do you sleep better, but you actually wake up sharper, clearer, more refreshed. That's a game changer. Personally, I keep a small speaker nearby with a pink noise track ready to go. The trick is volume, keep it low. Just a whisper enough to blur the edges of your thoughts until they fade into the background. But maybe pink noise isn't your thing, or maybe you want a little extra guidance. That's where sleep meditations come in. And no, I'm not talking about hour-long sessions that feel like a second job. Just 5 to 10 minutes can make all the difference. Picture it a calm, steady voice, someone with the soothing presence of, say, Morgan Freeman, gently leading you through a simple exercise. You start with your breath, then slowly move through your body, releasing tension from your toes all the way up to your forehead. It's like a bedtime story for adults, calming, repetitive, and designed to quiet the noise in your head. Something so calming and predictable that your mind has no choice but to follow along. Instead of spiraling into worry, your thoughts are shepherded back into rhythm. That voice becomes a lifeline, pulling you away from the storm of overthinking and reminding you you are safe, you are at rest. And here's the best part, you don't need fancy apps or expensive subscriptions. There are countless free meditations right here on YouTube or on podcasts ready whenever you need them. Before you dive into this tonight, just remember, avoid tracks with sudden ads or loud openings. The last thing you want is to be startled awake by a booming voice when you're finally starting to relax. Test the track ahead of time, find one that feels calming, and keep the volume soft, low enough to soothe you, but not so loud it jars you awake. The whole point is to let the sound gently guide you out of chaos and back into peace. Isn't it incredible how something as simple as sound can transform your entire night? The next time you find yourself wide awake at 3 or 4 a.m., to give these techniques a try. They truly can quiet your mind and help you slip back into the restful sleep your body deserves. Think of it as giving your brain a retreat, a short break from the constant noise of the world. And believe me, you deserve that kind of rest. As we close today's journey together, let's take a moment to reflect. We've uncovered the powerful connection between our emotions and our bodies, the way early morning wake-ups often point to feelings we've pushed aside. We've learned that instead of ignoring them, we can acknowledge what's stirring inside. Checking in with ourselves, writing down what we're carrying, and allowing those emotions to finally breathe. It's such a simple practice, but it's also deeply transformative. Just by putting your feelings into words, you take away some of their power. You lighten the weight you've been carrying, and you give yourself the gift of release. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the one thing you're going to try first? Will it be journaling your thoughts when you wake, practicing gentle midnight stretches, or maybe experimenting with calming sounds to ease your mind? Share your answer in the comments. I'd love to know what resonates with you most. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like it, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more insights and practical tips to bring more peace into your nights. Your support means so much. It helps this channel keep growing and reaching others who need these reminders. Take care of yourself, sleep well, and I'll see you in the next video.